This is Jeff Singer reporting for Film the Police Hillsborough. We're out here on Oak and First in Hillsborough, Oregon, where I've spotted several of these signs. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, thank you for our freedom. Thank you, Blue. Our world would be different without you. Now, I think that these speak to the extreme case of Stockholm Syndrome that the American population has been afflicted by. These people have gone out of their way, spent time out of their day to come out here and thank people who don't protect their freedoms but indeed subjugate them. The military, for example, hasn't fought for anybody's freedom in many decades. They're actually laying the foundation for an economic occupation by the American empire to gain control of the resources of Western and Central Asia and can give less of a fuck about liberty than this. Well, this is just fucking ridiculous. Our world would be different without you, Blue. It'd be 10 times fucking better. These people seem to not realize that the primary intent of the police is not to protect and serve, but to control, to assert order and control through the use of force so that the ruling class can continue to subjugate everybody else. They are not here to protect you. They are not here to be your friend. And these signs that I'm finding everywhere, personally, my opinion, they sicken me. They show me that people are completely unaware of the reality that we're living in. They're completely unaware of the facts. They are completely unaware that the lower classes have a war being waged against them by the police. There is no reason to honor these individuals. They don't care about you. That's the way it is. Individual police officers, they may make an attempt to be good people, but the fact of the matter is a system that they're involved in corrupts them. It is a system that generates revenue through human misery. They turn human misery into money. The individuals who took the time to do this, probably white middle class, who's never experienced the jackboot oppression that the rest of us have, probably thought it'd be a good idea. Well, we'll go out and show our support for the goons. Well, ladies and gentlemen, fuck your signs and fuck your goons. Fuck your support. I'm going through town and I'm ripping down every one of these fucking signs because nobody needs to be subjugated to this kind of bullshit propaganda. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. I can't believe that somebody took the time to do this. Here's two more. Again, yeah, it'd be 10 times fucking better without the pigs rolling around. Anyways, that's what I'm doing after work tonight. Jeff Singer from the Police Hillsborough signing off.
The video comes from Jeff Singer of Film the Police Hillsborough, who shared it with us via the COPBLOCK.org submissions page. Along with the submission, Jeff writes, I offer commentary on the state of modern law enforcement and the cultural Stockholm Syndrome affecting the majority of the populace. Speaking of Stockholm Syndrome, we may have mentioned that issue a few times. Stockholm Syndrome is a form of traumatic bonding in which a victim develops emotional ties towards an aggressor that may harass, beat, threaten, abuse, or intimidate them. Named after the six-day 1973 Norrmalmstorg bank robbery in Stockholm, Sweden, in which hostages became emotionally attached to their captors, rejected assistance, and even defended the robbers. The condition was originally described by Freud as a psychological defense mechanism that enables a victim to adopt the same values as their aggressor, allowing them to cease considering them a threat. From Stockholm Syndrome, woman writes letter thanking cop for extorting her. Police are human beings, not gods. They do what they do for the same self-interested, petty, and materialistic reasons as every other human being on the face of this planet. They get paid to protect people. It is their job, and they collect a paycheck to do so. Police departments collect this paycheck whether they satisfy their customers or not, because taxes are not optional. Yet in this picture, we see men who pay compulsory taxes to fund the police, who are doing the officers' jobs for them free of charge for inexplicable reasons. And here we see those police, allowing unpaid, unarmed, untrained civilians to stand before them as a line of defense. This is not inspirational. It is bizarre and pathetic. From Stockholm Syndrome sufferers take up defense of police. Calling us and our supporters sheep does not make any sense. It is a misplaced metaphor that bears far more resemblance to its accusers than their targets. Yet I would hesitate to call our opponents and accusers sheep. As I stated before, sheep are exercising their instincts. They have not been intentionally conditioned to be docile, apathetic and delusional. Unfortunately, those who demonstrate blind obedience to their handlers have been conditioned to betray their own nature to exercise their freedoms and liberties unhindered by bureaucratic apparatuses. They are victims of a narrative that places them in cages of fear and obedience. I can forgive them for falling prey to these monolithic forces of ideological oppression and becoming traitors, while it is doubtful that they will ever be grateful that we were trying to break the bondage of every individual human being, including them. Sometimes you just can't win. You try to open a person's cage and they snap at your fingers while you do so. I just remind myself often that I love what I do, and even the most disheartening encounters with the Stockholm Syndrome sycophants doesn't seem so bad. Who are the sheep here anyway, COPBLOCK or COP supporters? But dear American public, I do ask that you at the very least, stop thinking like a pack of slaves with a severe case of Stockholm Syndrome. You are so smitten, deferent, even servile, to your captors and abusers that it is pathetic, and difficult to watch. The manner in which Americans excuse abuse, violence, and even murder by police and government is so ingrained that I am fairly certain it would be most accurately characterized as a form of mental illness. Dear American public, you are mentally ill. Nobody ever said I want to live in fear and be dependent on other adults when I grow up. Nobody ever intends to become subjected to the conditioning and manufactured fears that our institutions put us through for its own malign purposes. The institutions that have done this to rabid police supporters have also been trying to do the same to us. Whether it never took or circumstances forced us to abandon that conditioning, those of us who see the problems of authoritarianism are lucky, in that we can at least still conceive of the freedoms we have lost. Those lost to the system have been robbed of even the basic ability to imagine a better existence for themselves. And that is itself a tragedy. Copsuckers are also victims of the system. Perhaps it is time we change tactics with them and show them our support and mercy, just as we would do for a loved one we were trying to rescue from a suicide cult that they have become brainwashed to identify with beyond the reach of logic and facts. What I am getting at is that copsuckers would not be that way if they were not also victims. They deserve the understanding that we should afford to all victims of police and the state. The fact that they do not want our help is not because they are our enemies. It is because, like any dependent or addict, they are trapped in a cycle of self-abuse so deep that they can no longer imagine how fulfilling and joyous life could be without their destructive toxic substances. And they will lash out at all who threaten to take it away from them or judge them for it. So maybe we should start treating them with the mercy and support we would give to any person in a desperate situation that needs our help. Maybe we should be giving copsuckers our mercy and support.